Going out here. Blue light special on a Friday night. I don't just sit around and get older. I've dealt with not having people that I wanted to have around me for years. So being lonely is not something I worry about. I have the ability to reach out and talk to folks. Of course, it's virtually, not in person, but I communicate with all kinds of folks all over the place. Thousands of them. I don't worry about the loneliness. And I don't sit around in my apartment and get that way. I have the ability to complain and raise hell about all kinds of things.
Just sitting around, getting older. But that type of isolation can really have an impact. So many people who just don't have that human connection. And loneliness not only impacts a person's mental well-being, but their physical health. Stress hormones go up. It can impair cognitive performance, compromise the immune system, and increase the risk for vascular problems, inflammation, and heart disease. But a little connection can change all that. It's 15 minutes, and it is face to face. That means if you know someone who is lonely, talk to them. More importantly, listen to them. Being able to validate and say that they are valued. Plan at least 2 days out of the house, if only for a few hours. Find a senior center. Enroll in community college classes. Most offer courses free for seniors. Volunteer. Walk places if you can, and say hello to everyone you pass. Make it a point to call someone each day.
Which he called a very significant effort. Members of Congress have urged President Trump to take immediate action by signing the annual defense policy bill. The legislation includes a number of internet security provisions, including stronger measures against cyber attacks. And Congress has passed a 2-day stopgap spending bill Friday night, averting a partial government shutdown and buying yet more time for negotiations in an almost $1 trillion COVID-19 relief package. The virus aid talks remained on track, but closing out final disagreements was proving difficult. Weekend sessions were on tap, and House leaders hoped for a Sunday vote on the massive package. And Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell says both sides remain intent on closing the deal as the U.S. sees a surge in cases and deaths. The U.S. Supreme Court has dismissed a challenge to President Trump's census plans. The president had moved to exclude people living in the country illegally from the population count used to allot seats in the House of Representatives and federal funds. The plan was met with backlash and legal challenges from those who argued those in the country illegally were still residents and should therefore be counted. But the High Court decided that it was premature to issue a verdict because the impact of Trump's plan is unknown. Regardless, this may be a moot point, as leaked documents show the Census Bureau is unlikely to submit numbers until after Trump leaves office, and President-elect Joe Biden is to the plan. According to the director of the National Institutes of Health, and both appear safe and strongly protective, although Moderna is easier to handle since it does not need to be stored at ultra-frozen temperatures. The company expects to have between 100 million and 125 million doses available globally in the first 3 months of 2021, with 85 to 100 million of those available in the U.S. Initial doses are set to arrive on Monday. And the U.S. COVID-19 vaccination campaign has begun, and the few available doses are mostly going into the arms of healthcare workers and nursing home residents. But what about in January, February, and March, when more shots are expected to become available? Our Abigail Taylor finds out.
History will record that this week was the beginning of the end of the coronavirus pandemic.
The U.S.'s mass vaccination campaign is underway, nearly a week into the effort to eradicate the COVID-19 pandemic, and tens of thousands of shots have already been given to nurses, doctors, and our nation's leaders. Vice President Mike Pence is so far the highest-ranking official to get the vaccine, doing so on camera in hopes to be an example and ease the doubts of worried Americans.
Karen and I were more than happy to step forward before this week was out to take the safe and effective coronavirus vaccine that we have secured and produced for the American people.
The Vice President says the U.S. is poised.
I don't know why people leave these things on a sidewalk where they're not supposed to be. You need to geofence this location so these idiots can't park them here. See that sign right there? Well, look here. Scooter sitting right in front of it. Wheelchair accessible. Accessible access. Entrance. Not with a scooter sitting in front of it. Moron. See, I have quite a bit of things to do, and it's a great hobby and distractions.